Today's video is also uploaded in YouTube.
Good, very good.
Okay. One second. Okay. Morning we seen about function overloading. Okay. Now let me see about constructor, how to overload constructor. Okay. The same class I was opened here. One second. Within the class, the constructor should be same as class name. Okay. So now I'm going to create another one constructor name, public employee as a default constructor. Okay.
Always we have to create a constructor before display.
Which one?
No, display the functions.
Wherever within the class, wherever you can create it, this is no issue.
Okay.
Console dot write line. This is default constructor with default constructor, no argument. Okay. So now I'm going to call this constructor. How I will call the constructor? So these two are called this first constructor. Okay. So based on the argument, it automatically assumes there is two argument is there within the constructor. Now I'm going to call another one constructor employee obj3 equal to new employee of. Okay. This will call the default constructor. Okay. This function we didn't have any argument. Okay. This directly called the default. Okay. Now let me check it. This one is constructor overload.
We didn't type a display for that object display.
Don't want to type it. See, this is default constructor, no argument. So wherever you can create it, no problem. Default constructor only first it will call.
Okay.
And after this, the rest of the constructor, the value will be assigned.
Okay.
Okay. Make a note on this. Function overloading and constructor overloading. Okay.
Okay, bro.
Okay, bro. Can we see next to the topic? Next we move for inheritance. So next concept we are going to for inheritance, basic concept of OOP. So what do you mean by inheritance? There are two forms of inheritance. Okay, so there are two ways we are going to derive our base class to one class property to another class property. Okay, first is inheritance as a relationship and another one is inheritance is a relationship. Okay, so what is the difference between as a relationship and is a relationship?
parent-child relationship like that way.
Parent-child relationship only. So I will tell one example for that. So if I have an parent-child relationship, there is no issue. Okay. So my child, okay, having to access all the property to with me. Okay. For example, so for example, I have my wife. Okay. So I I can able to access all the properties of my wife property. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I also include myself with my wife, so I can't able to access my wife father property. Okay, some of the property only I can able to access. Okay, this one is includes as a relationship.
Okay.
So I can't able to access my father-in-law property, but I can able to access all the properties of my father. Is it
Mm-mm.
true?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this way we are going to implement inheritance as a relationship, and inheritance is a relationship. I access only my wife property, so particular property. Okay.
Okay.
So but I can't able to access my father-in-law and the siblings of my wife property. Okay. But I can able to access my father all the property and my grandfather property and the grandfather property. Everything I can able to access. But I can't able to access my father-in-law property, my father-in-law and grandfather property, everything I can't able to access. Only one property I can able to access, my wife. That's all.
Okay.
This is known as a relationship. So is a relationship is I can able to access the properties of myself and as well as my father property and my grandfather property. Okay, everything will be included by zero. Okay, this is known as inheritance is a relationship.
Okay.
So now we are going to implement by the syntax for inheritance. So I have one class safe, okay, and another one class name as rectangle. Okay, the class this one is a relationship, not a as a relationship. Let me see later what even how we are going to implement as a relationship. First we move for is a relationship. Okay, so
Okay.
we are having different types of inheritance. Before that I will tell uh, single inheritance or simple inheritance. Note down these things. Okay, single or simple inheritance.
In inheritance, it has a two type, huh?
We are going to implement inheritance in two ways: as a relationship and is a relationship. Okay, and after that we are having different types of inheritance. Okay, so types of inheritance are simple inheritance,
Okay. Simple inheritance,
multi-level inheritance,
multi-level inheritance.
okay, hierarchical inheritance,
Okay.
okay, and uh, multiple ingredients we don't have. Instead, we are going to use interface concept. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now I will see the picture. I will show you the picture ingredients example pictures. Okay. Wait. This, this one is perfect one. This one is perfect one. So first one, simple ingredients or single ingredients. The class B is the derived class here. Okay. And class A is the base class. Okay, so the class B accrues the properties of base class A.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the class B having their own property and also acquires the properties of class A. Okay, so if you create an object for class B, okay, you can access the properties through the object of derived class property, as well as you can able to access the derived class object through base class property also. Okay,
Mm-mm.
I will once again repeat it. Okay, if you create an object for derived class, okay, if you are creating an object for derived class only, okay, so
Okay.
if there are derived class object, okay, through derived class object, I can able to access the properties of derived class, and as well as I can able to access the properties of base class, which is known as inheritance.
Okay.
Okay, I don't need to create an object for base class also. Within a single object, I can able to access both class property, because a class A property is derived into class B. Fine. Next, we move for multi-level inheritance. You can tell if I create an object
So
for
here,
class B.
base class, the simple ingredients, base class is class A,
A.
and derivative class
Derived
is
class is
class B.
class
Okay.
B. Okay. So we only creating an object for derived class only.
Mm.
So if you are creating a base class object, what will happen? This object, base class object, can able to access the properties of base class property, but you can't able to access the derived class property.
Okay.
But you create an object for derived class, what will happen? You can able to access the
It's
properties of
class
both base
A.
class and
Okay.
derived class.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. So now you can tell multi-level inheritance. Which class is you want to create an object for this multi-level inheritance?
C. Class C we have to create. Yeah.
Okay. If you create object for C class, what will happen?
Those objects access class B property and class A property.
And as well as class C property
Class
also
C.
eligible to access.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So now hierarchy inheritance. So if I in this hierarchy inheritance, in which class you have to create an object?
Class A.
No.
No.
If we create a base class, class A is the base class, and class B and class C are derived class. Okay.
Then class B and class C, we can create both class. We can create object.
Yes. If you create an object for class B, this class B object can able to access the properties of class B property and as well as class A property. Okay. If you need to access the properties of class C, what you have to do? You have to create an object for class C. This class C object only and able to access the properties of class C and as well as class A. That's all.
Can you repeat the hierarchical ingredients once again?
Hierarchical inheritance I will explain once again. Okay. If you create an object for derived class, okay. If you create an object for derived class, either class B or class C, whatever it is. Okay. If you create an object for class B, okay, what will happen? You can able to access the properties of class B through the object of class B. Okay. And as well as you can able to access the class B object through the base class of A. Okay.
Okay.
So you can't able to access the properties of class C because this one is derived class from A only, but not belongs to the class B. This is your brother like that. Okay.
Okay.
Your brother can have all rights to access with your father property. Okay.
Okay.
And you also having all rights to access your father property.
Okay.
But you don't don't have any rights to access each other.
Okay. In that case, we can use hierarchical.
In that case, we are using hierarchical inheritance. That's all. So, if you create an object for a base class, what will happen?
Only the base class will access a property.
That's all. That's all. Okay. So let me go for simple ingredients now. Okay. So class employee was created. Okay. And after that, I'm going to create an object for on derived class management or trust. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to give semicolon colon to derive my base class employee. Okay. Class trust colon employee. Okay. This trust is the derived class and employee is the base class.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to create a object for derived class only. Okay.
So derived class always comes first.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So instead I'm going to put it in a command line. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an object for trust obj equal to new trust of. Okay, so I didn't call base class constructor. Okay, so what I told initially, if you create an object for that class, that constructor is invoked automatically within the main program. I initially instructed. Okay, so now you need to call any constructor within that derived class object or base class constructor. No, because this entire property is derived into derived class,
Okay.
base class property. Okay, so if you create an object for derived class, this also include automatically. Okay, so I have one constructor named default constructor. Now I'm going to call this. What will happen? Okay, so sorry, I will stop the screen. Console dot print. Okay, so now I recall it. This is default constructor with no argument. How it would call?
Really? Because the default control constructor we don't need to call, so automatically comes, right?
Yeah, okay. But what is the procedure I told? If you create an object for base class, any class, the constructor only invoked. So trust is the object of direct class, but the constructor is in base class. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is correct control. Okay. So now the thing is, so how you will it will be called, because if you are creating an object means derived class, this is also applicable for an object of base class also.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if you are going to construct one house, okay, with 2 floors, okay, I'll give another one example for that. Okay, if you are going to construct one house with 2 floors, okay, this first floor property or belongs to the second floor property. Am I correct?
Yes, yeah.
If without first floor, you can't able to create second floor or construct second floor.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so like that we are implementing a constructor also. Okay, so and I will give another one example. If I am using this MS Office 2013, okay,
Mm.
so before versions are using 2010. Okay, so last month I was used 2010 and created some documents, and now my upgraded my version as 2013 MS Office. Okay,
Mm.
so now I am trying to access my previously defined Word file. It will open. That is
Mm.
no issue. Okay, so what will happen in that one is created in 2010, but the file is opened in 2013. How it will happen? Because all the properties are available in 2013. Okay,
Okay.
okay, all the properties are available in
That is
2013.
that is
Some
our
additional,
base class. The 2013
yeah,
base
that is
class.
where 2010 is the base class, and
Yes.
2013 is added some additional features. That's all.
Okay, okay. That is our derived
Okay,
class. So we connect
yeah,
with
that is our
both
direct class.
and we will get it back. Okay.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, so if I create some document in 2013, okay,
Mm.
the format also docx format. If I am trying to access with the 2007, is it possible
Mm.
to open? Because the file is newer one. Latest to lower end is not possible.
Mm.
Older version is not possible. If you are opening means you need some features are not updated. This is older version. Okay,
Mm.
so it will show some errors.
Mm.
You also trying in Visual Studio also. Okay, if I create a project in 2013, I will send the project to you. Okay, you can open in 2016 or 17. It will open. There is no issue.
Okay.
Okay, you create any project in 2017 and send it to me.
Mm.
Okay, if I will try to open it, it will open or not?
In which version?
2016, 17 you are using. Okay, bro.
Okay. Okay.
If you create on any project
It will not
in your
open.
school,
It will not open.
you will send it to me. It will not open. Why? This is uh, lower to higher will support. Higher to
Mm.
lower will not
Will
support.
not
That's all.
support. Okay.
Okay. That you understand this thing?
Yeah, I'm understanding. Yes. Yeah.
Fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, create one new constructor. Okay, on derived class public trust here. This one is default constructor. Okay,
Mm.
I'm going to create console dot write line. This is derived class constructor. Okay,
Derived class default constructor.
this is derived class default constructor. Okay, this is derived class default constructor. So now we are in inheritance is a relationship only, but we need to go through a class relationship in future. Okay, so now I'm going to run this program. What will happen? You can understand now. So
Both will execute.
both will
Uh,
execute. How it will happen?
because it's connecting. The derived class is connecting with the base class. So that is
Yes.
execute the default constructor with no argument. And after it comes to derived class and executing this derived class default constructor.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. That's all. So both the default constructor are executed. Okay.
Mhm.
So now I'm going to call base class constructor here. Okay, this one. Okay, I'm going to call this through the help of creating an object for derived class trust obj1 equal to new trust of. Okay, so what are the argument I'm having? ID in integer, name in string. Okay, so I'm giving the value as integer 101 and name is Muthu. Okay, fine. Given. Why it shows an error? Any idea?
Uh, it's showing represent a 32-bit signed integer.
Because no, not like that. So
Mm.
see here, does not contain a constructor that take two arguments. Okay,
Oh, I didn't understand what you say.
the default constructor it will takes
Okay,
directly, no
okay,
issues. If
okay.
you are having an argument within the constructor, you
Uh,
have to override it in direct class. Otherwise, you won't get it.
okay, okay. Yeah, we have to
Okay.
mention it in the argument section, right? We have to
Uh,
mention. Yeah.
uh, argument selection you have to mention it, and also you have to call in direct class, especially the argument constructor. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Otherwise, it won't get the result. Okay.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create I put it in command on this thing. Okay,
Mm-mm.
I put it in command on this thing, and going to create on constructor on here. This will accept here. Okay, default constructor it won't produce any error. Okay, but you are having an argument. It won't call base class constructor. It will only for derived class constructor.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want the base class constructor with argument values, you have to call by the help of inheritance as a relationship. Let me see on later. Okay,
Okay.
next class we will see inheritance as a relation, how it will work for constructor and constructor overriding, method overriding. So what is the purpose of we are using? These are the runtime polymorphism. Over if you are going for overriding means runtime polymorphism. We will see on later. So we see only compile time polymorphism.
Okay.
Compile time polymorphism means it can allot the memory when the function is created. Okay, so here see these are the functions are created within the same class. So but it doesn't allot the memory at the runtime. It can allot the memory when it was created. That's all. Okay, so now I'm going to create int emp id and string emp name. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, now the error is gone out. Okay, so now I'm going to print here also console dot right line of employee ID is okay, and concatenate it emp ID. Okay, and again I print the value console dot right line and employee name is plus emp name. Okay, this will be, you don't need to call this one also. If for the value is passed and the result also will be printed. That's all. Okay, try it. See.
This is the comma semicolon, yeah.
Okay. This is default constructor, no argument. This is default constructor, no argument. This is derived class, default constructor. What happened? Many times are executed. I will check it. Wait. Somewhat it is having an error. Okay. Default constructor executing many times. Yes. So the default constructor is executed 2 times. Base class constructor. How it was happened? Because each and every time you are creating an object for derived class, that the derived base class constructor is automatically invoked. Default constructor. Okay, if you are passing means more than one argument, there is no issue. Okay, so how many times how many objects you will create, that base class default constructor that time will be called.
Okay.
Okay.
Can you explain once again from the beginning to end the program?
One second, I will explain it. So I'm going to create one class. Okay.
But
I
have a question. Why we creating for this one, the trust one? We creating an employee. Already we have it in base class, right? Already we have arguments in base class. Why we cannot access those employee name and ID?
We are having rights to access, but we have to pass through the derived class. Some methodology we need to study. So method overriding we have to study. Then only we can able to
In
pass
that
the
time it will come. Okay.
Yeah, that time it will come. Okay, so wait for 1 or 2 more classes.
Okay.
So now what I'm going to explain now. So I have one class, base class, and also I have another one class, derived class. So if I don't have any constructor in my derived class, okay, so automatically it will call all the base class property, base class constructor. Okay, so only it will call base class default constructor only, it automatically calls. Okay, if I have default constructor in my derived class, it will call derived class default constructor and as well as base class default constructor. Okay. While
That is the
an
reason
object
it printing 2 times. This one and that one. And after that you creating one more constructor with arguments.
Yes.
You calling that arguments by objects.
Yes, I created only 2 objects, bro. Okay, but the thing is, what happened? Default constructor is called 2 times. Okay, so in before that, in previous class, what I have created, 3 objects I was created, 2 for constructor with argument and 1 for default constructor. Okay, and the default constructor is only one time is called here in previous class. Now I created for 2 objects, one for default constructor, one for constructor with argument. But the thing is, default constructor of base class is called 2 times. Okay, if you need to avoid these things, so for that reason we are using constructors with arguments in base class, and also it won't invoked by the derived class object. So if you want to invoke the base class constructor, you have to call specially in your derived class, otherwise it won't come. Okay, So you have to include within your some additional feature. So now, suppose if I create one project, I have to give one example for that. Okay, so I created one project for this year, and I upgrade my project on next year. Okay, I have to decide which of the property have to be available in previous version to be extended in my new project. Otherwise, I discard everything in my previous project. Is it correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
That's why this option will be enabled in our high-level object-oriented programming language. So for that purpose, if you are deriving any property, okay. So I created one constructor here. Okay, this one is constructor with argument. If I need base class property, base class constructor with argument, I have to include it here. Okay, I have to include, no, I have to include here, otherwise it won't come. That's all. Okay, so now I'm going to call the function display function is here. Okay, so void display function is there now, and I'm going to call by using the function object name obj dot display. Okay, and I will give the value 101 comma 1000 something. Okay, so now obj dot 101,000 is given. This is the function. The value is passed, and also it will be called. Okay, so now I will try this. So you can call any function by using the derived class object. There is no issue.
Okay.
Okay. See, the 101 employee ID and employee alias ID is 1000. Value is called from base class, but you are using derived class object. Okay.
Can you show me the output?
Wait. See, 101 is employee ID and alias ID is 1000. Here I will see. I will show you. See, this one is. This function is called. I have more number of functions with the employee ID like that. Okay.
Okay.
See the output. Fine.
Okay.
Okay, go. Okay. So now you can take 5 to 10 minutes to similar way. You can create another one ingredients, multi-level ingredients. You try it.
Okay.
Okay. I will show the chart now. So I create a simple ingredients. Okay. Instead, you are going to create another one class here. Okay. And you create on another one class trust, and after that you can create one class. Okay, no, I will create it. Okay, I will show you.
Totally two base classes, one
no,
class. Okay.
One base class and the another one derived class, and that derived class is derived for another one derived class.
Oh, okay. Two derived classes.
Okay, this one is base class. Sorry. Class A is the base class for all the class, and class B is the derived from class A, and class C is derived the properties of class B. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to create one class management. Okay. Colon. What I have to do? Trust.
Management. Trust.
Okay. So now employee is the class A. Okay.
No need to mention employee here.
No, because you are deriving only trust only. Trust is already derived employee class. There is no need to give employee.
Okay.
So management can derive the trust property, and trust can derive the employee property. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So now I am going to create an object for management. Okay, I will put it in command mode, command line. I'm going to create an object for, so okay, management obj equal to new management of. Okay, how many default constructor here?
2.
2. Here on, this is derived class default constructor. This is derived class 1. I'll name this derived class 1 default constructor. This is base class.
One is from base
Default
class,
constructor.
one is from trust derived class. And now we
Yes, yes.
creating if we
Okay.
could give console right line, then it will come another
Yes.
class. Another.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So let me try it. Okay, dear. What happened? Everything. This is same issue for me. I forgot it to give console trick. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. This is base class default constructor, and this is derived class 1 default constructor. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'm going to create one constructor here, public. Okay. What is management? This is derived class 2 constructor. Okay. So I'm going to print it as, this is derived class 2 default constructor. Okay. See,
Okay.
everything will be called within single function.
Okay.
That's all. So now you can try with yourself. Okay. So now there is morning or evening, bro?
Yeah, evening class, so that is morning for you. Yeah, 4:30.
Morning for you. So morning 4:30 now for you.
Yeah, no, for you. For me, evening. Evening. Today is 7 o'clock.
Oh, now, no, 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 no. For you
Now,
now morning at,
this is evening for you, right?
yeah,
So
myself evening. For you morning at what time here now?
now it's 10 to 11 class. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, 10 to 11 now.
Yeah,
Okay,
10 to
okay, good.
11. Yeah, 10 to 11
That's why
class.
I asked. And you can do practice on up to evening. Uh, Now I will give one assessment for you.
Mm-hmm.
Already you did your assessment
No,
yesterday,
no, no.
yesterday.
I know I didn't do anything.
Okay,
So
that also you can complete it. Okay, and after that we will move for next. Then only it will be helpful for you. Okay,
okay.
so now I will give the assessment for, okay, multi level already completed. Hierarchy ingredients you have to do it. Okay, here is there no hierarchy ingredients. Okay, if you create an object for this class property will be executed. You try it. I will tell the concept. You have to include for class A in class B, and also you have to include for class C in class A also. Okay, you have to separately create for the object for this class also and this class also. That's all.
Okay.
So here you can change it. The concept. What happened? One second, I will verify it. Oh, these are the errors. Okay, bro. So now I will tell another one thing. Okay. So now I need to call this display function. Okay, I'm going to call this display function. This is available in my first base class. Okay. So how will I will call by the object of derived class 2 obj dot display of, okay. I need to give the ID 101 and alias ID is 1000. Okay, and at the end you have to do semicolon. I need to do a last line will always be console.it. Okay.
Oh, always console dot relay.
Okay. Now you can see the result. That's all. Okay, bro.
Yeah.
So if you have any doubts, to the classes and on those previous classes you are having also doubt, you can note it in our any book.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you can ask in between the classes. Okay, in any doubts you can clarify it at any time. Okay, and
Okay, bro.
during the class hours there is no issue.
Okay,
Okay,
okay, okay.
okay, bro. So the next class tomorrow morning, I will give how to create projects. Okay, on Windows Form application, I will take all the toolbox controls on tomorrow. Okay,
Okay, okay.
and you have to do these things: multi-level
Yeah,
inheritance,
multi-level ingredients and
single inheritance, and another one thing is hierarchical inheritance. And you have to work out for each example minimum 4 to 5.
minimum four
Okay,
to five
so
examples.
minimum 4 to 5, 4 to 5 can go through in internet. You can work out with minimum 4 to 5 examples. Okay,
Okay, okay,
but these simple ingredients, multi-level ingredients, and hierarchy ingredients. Okay, then only I teach only the concepts. Okay, how
okay,
it will work. You can implement with the different methodologies. Then only you can stick on the concepts. Otherwise, it won't help you.
okay, bro. Okay. So,
Okay, you do be carefully. Okay, and yesterday task and today's task,
mm,
and today morning also I was given task, and yesterday I was given a polygon, circle, and another one thing is triangle, and also I was to these things also verify tomorrow morning on class. Okay,
okay, okay, bro. Okay,
you be ready with these assessments on tomorrow morning 4 o'clock. Okay,
okay, okay, okay.
okay, bro, fine.
Thank you.
Fine.
So I'll send you
Ah,
the recording. Okay.
ah, okay, bro. Okay, bro. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.